Your kindness has become a weapon in the wrong hands. You've been so busy being nice to everyone that you've forgotten how to be good to anyone. The sword of discernment that God placed in your spirit has been dulled by your desperate need to be liked, approved of, and seen as the good guy by people who wouldn't hesitate to use your goodness against you. Let me tell you what's really happening. You've confused kindness with cowardice, and it's destroying everything you're supposed to protect. Picture a sword hanging on your wall, polished, pristine, and completely useless. It looks impressive, but it has never drawn blood in defense of what matters. It has never cut through lies to reveal truth. It has never protected the innocent or confronted the guilty. It's decorative kindness in a world that demands decisive action. That sword is your discernment, your ability to distinguish between sheep and wolves, between those who deserve your kindness and those who are weaponizing it against you. But you've been so afraid of seeming judgmental, so terrified of not being universally loved, that you've let the sword rust while predators devour everything you hold dear. The sword of discernment isn't cruel, it's merciful. It protects the vulnerable by cutting through the manipulation of the predatory. It serves love by refusing to enable evil. Let me repeat this. True kindness requires the wisdom to know when not to be kind. The world has trained you to believe that being Christian means being endlessly accommodating, perpetually understanding, and universally accepting. It has convinced you that drawing boundaries is unloving, that saying no is selfish, that protecting what's precious makes you mean. But this isn't biblical love. This is systematic emasculation disguised as spirituality. The culture celebrates your niceness because it neutralizes your power. When you're kind to everyone, you're protective of no one. When you refuse to make enemies, you fail to defend your friends. When you won't judge anyone, you can't protect anything. Your universal kindness becomes a universal weakness that evil people exploit while good people suffer. The system wants you nice, not good. Nice is predictable. Nice is controllable. Nice doesn't disrupt anything or challenge anyone. Nice lets wolves feast while shepherds smile politely and hope things work out. But you were not called to be nice. You were called to be righteous. Here's what you need to understand about your true calling. You are not responsible for managing everyone else's emotions. You are not required to be the solution to every person's problems. You are not obligated to absorb every manipulator's sob story or rescue every victim who refuses to help themselves. You have limited time, limited energy, and limited emotional capacity. When you spread your kindness like butter over the entire world, it becomes so thin that no one actually benefits from it. Your family gets the scraps, while strangers get your prime attention. Your true friends get your exhaustion, while energy vampires get your vitality. Jesus himself wasn't kind to everyone. He called the Pharisees a brood of vipers. He overturned tables in the temple. He told one man to let the dead bury their dead. He refused to heal people who wouldn't acknowledge their need for healing. He withdrew from crowds when they wanted to use him for their own purposes. Christ's love was not universal niceness. It was strategic goodness aimed at accomplishing the Father's will. Your inability to distinguish between sheep and wolves isn't humility. It's dangerous naivety that puts everyone you love at risk. Sheep receive your kindness and are nourished by it. They use your goodness to become better themselves. They honor what you give them and multiply it in the kingdom. But wolves? Wolves see your kindness as weakness to exploit. They study your giving heart and learn exactly which buttons to push to extract maximum benefit with minimum reciprocation. They drain your resources, manipulate your emotions, and disappear the moment you need something in return. The tragedy is that while you're being endlessly kind to wolves, the sheep in your life, your family, your true friends, your genuine community are being neglected, undernourished, and unprotected. Your spouse needs a partner who will prioritize him or her over the needy stranger who always seems to have an emergency. Your children need a father or mother who will defend them against teachers, coaches, and systems that would harm them. Your true friends need someone who will choose loyalty over popularity when the chips are down. Real love requires the courage to say no to some people so you can say yes to the right people. It demands the wisdom to recognize manipulation and the strength to resist it. It requires boundaries that protect what's precious and priorities that put first things first. This means you stop giving your phone number to every person who asks for it. This means you stop saying yes to every request for your time, money, or emotional energy. This means you stop absorbing other people's crises as your own responsibility. This means you stop being available to everyone and start being devoted to someone. But instead of feeling guilty about this, you start feeling responsible. Instead of apologizing for having standards, you start celebrating them. Instead of worrying about who you might disappoint, you start focusing on who you're called to protect and serve. The sword of discernment cuts both ways. It separates you from those who would use you, and it connects you more deeply with those who truly value you. Here's what changes when you stop being kind to everybody and start being strategically loving. Your relationships become deeper instead of broader. Your impact becomes concentrated instead of diluted. Your energy becomes focused instead of scattered. You stop trying to save everyone and start actually helping someone. You stop managing everyone's feelings and start prioritizing the feelings of those who have earned your care. You stop being a doormat for the world and start being a fortress for your family. This doesn't make you mean. It makes you meaningful. This doesn't make you cruel. It makes you careful. This doesn't make you less loving. It makes your love more valuable because it's not given to just anyone who asks. When your kindness becomes selective, it becomes powerful. When your goodness becomes strategic, it becomes transformational. God has given you specific people to love, protect, and serve. But you'll never discover who they are while you're busy being everything to everyone. You'll never fulfill your calling while you're exhausting yourself, trying to meet every need you encounter. Your assignment isn't to be liked by everyone. It's to be faithful to someone. Your calling isn't to solve every problem you see. It's to solve the problems you're specifically equipped and positioned to solve. Your purpose isn't to be universally kind. It's to be strategically good in the ways that advance God's kingdom. The people God has entrusted to your care need you to stop being nice to their enemies and start being good to them. They need you to stop spreading yourself thin trying to please everyone and start going deep with the relationships that actually matter. Right now, you have a choice to make. You can continue being endlessly kind to people who take advantage of your goodness, while the people who truly love you get whatever's left over. You can keep trying to be everyone's friend while failing to be anyone's protector. Or you can pick up the sword of discernment. You can learn to distinguish between sheep and wolves. You can start saying no to the wrong people so you can say yes to the right people. You can stop being universally nice and start being strategically good. Your family doesn't need you to be everyone's favorite person. They need you to be their devoted protector. Your true friends don't need you to be popular with their enemies. They need you to be loyal when loyalty costs something. The kingdom doesn't need you to be liked by everyone. It needs you to be faithful to your actual calling. The sword is waiting. It will never feel comfortable in your hand, but it will make you into the person your people need you to be. The question isn't whether you're kind enough to be loved by everyone. The question is whether you're wise enough to love the right people well. Stop being kind to everybody. Start being good to someone. Share this if you know a person who needs to pick up his or her sword and learn the difference between sheep and wolves.